Incredible work, me. I did not have my mic working. So I had been streaming to with no voice for like 10 minutes, and that's embarrassing. Well, what I'm going to be doing in just a moment is streaming some Mechabellum. And when I say streaming some Mechabellum, I'm going to be not playing, but I'm going to be watching other people play. I'm going to be commentating on the game, trying to be as entertaining as possible, which is based on how I've done this last time. It's practice, okay? It's not going to be good. It's just going to be practice. Disclaimer up front, I don't know what I'm talking about, so I'm not a high-level player or anything, so if I say something stupid, you've been warned. Here we go. I'm going to pick a game in round 1. This one's in round 1. There we go. Click that button. All right. It's loading up. We see... And I see the mic works now, so this is not a mistake I'm going to be making twice. Spectator delay in effect. Good stuff. Let me just go ahead and... Man, I was really not prepared today. First, I didn't set up my green screen, and then I didn't set up my microphone. I'm kind of worried that there's something else I haven't set up now. The game has audio. You can see it on screen. I can see it on stream, but man, what else can go wrong? Let me try pressing this button. This is my mute button. Yeah, that works. Okay. All right, blue and red selecting their specialist right now. We see okay, quick supply for blue. I always love that one because you never know what to expect. Saber-tooths and hounds. Going to be a very defensive combo of units. Why are we up here in the corner? I don't know. Let's get a better focus. Red opting for the Amplify Specialist. Now that is a specialist that doesn't really give you anything other than these 3 cores. So you got to make them count. And they've got Void Eyes and Mustangs. And as I was saying while I was muted, I have not played this game with the Void Eyes, so I don't actually know what they do, other than what was in a trailer or patch notes. So I know that they shoot lasers, and I know that they have an upgrade that lets them fly. I don't know what else they can do. I don't think they're very good. And I'm not saying that because I've played with them. I think that's like the community consensus is they're not very good, as is. So I don't particularly expect this to be anything but a resounding crushing on blue's side, but that's going to turn around. Mustangs are a very, very good unit, but they need support. Crawlers are not a lot of support. They're going to get flattened by these hounds. Let's see how the fight goes. Mustangs rolling forward. They're going straight. They're straight to tanking for the Void Eyes in the back, actually. They'll lock onto the Mustangs, which is exactly what you don't want, or the Saber-tooths, which is exactly what you don't want the Mustangs to do. A lot of beams going out. Crawler wave coming in from red side, crushing the Saber-tooth. And that is bad news for this Saber-tooth, who's all alone. Tower is the only thing keeping them alive, and that's about to expire. Alright, I guess Void Eyes are really good against Saber-tooths. That's almost true. Crawlers are also very good against Saber-tooths. Cool. Cool. Now, how do you turn this around? Ooh, okay. Choice of Wasp, Fang, Tarantula, or Typhoon. Okay, well, the way I look at this, it's a choice between Wasp and Tarantula for both sides, because Wasp is just an anti-air, or is an air unit, and all of Red's anti-air is on this side, and Blue doesn't have any anti-air at all, so Wasp, very crushing if Red picks it, and if Blue picks it, it's absolutely going to go over here, so Red has to respond by putting, I guess they're putting their Wasps up here as their anti-air. Early Hound range. I feel like that's dead. That's a dead meta. Isn't it? You're going too early into the Hounds. You want to get levels on your Hounds first before you go all in on them, because if your opponent counters them, and they're just level 1, they're not doing anything. You've got all these Hounds to counter a bunch of crawlers. I guess they're good against Mustangs, but the opponent hasn't gone all in on Mustangs. In fact, they're getting arc lights. And you were losing. Blue is losing right now. Are you able to see the ELO of each player when you spectate? So I'll see it at the end of the match. So I don't get to see it now, but I do get to see it at the end of the match. There might be a way for me to look that up, but I don't know it. If someone else knows, you feel free to tell me. It's funnier if I don't know, because then I make really bad assumptions about these players, and then I look stupid. Yeah. So, red has come right through the tower, destroyed the army in the way. We've got a bunch of crawlers coming toward these hounds, and they have range, but that's not enough. And what is blue to do now? Where's the play from here? I don't think these hounds are going to get any levels. They're not going to get levels off of crawlers. Crawlers don't have that much experience attached to them. Incendiary bomb or redeployment, both good. Incendiary bomb is just really should be taken out of the game. It's too good. Absorption module doesn't make sense in either of these comps. And I honestly don't know when you would ever pick advanced missile device. If someone else knows, let me know. Red taking their time. This is a very, very long thought going into this card selection. Redeployment, it's really good in general. Okay, where's that going? Where's that going, Red? Who's getting it? What is this? Void Eyes have suppression shots. Increase Void Eyes range by 15, and its attacks reduce target's range by 30% for 2 seconds. Okay. Who is that for? Is that to counter the hounds? Is that to counter the Sabertooths, which... That ability doesn't make sense to me. Red bringing down a bunch of fangs. Sorry, blue bringing down a bunch of fangs. Chaff. Chaff. Is that going to turn this around? I'm not sure. Blue also getting chaff. Fangs. It's never bad to get chaff. But the thing is, getting more chaff doesn't bring you from a losing to a winning position usually, unless you've already got the ingredients to a success. Hound's doing horrendous damage. They're going to start doing damage to these Mustangs. Yep. And now that the Mustangs are largely dead, arc lights can come in, mop up. Wasps in the back door, killing Red's tower. That could turn this around right there. There's no response to that. Yeah, that's it. Very cheeky play right there. As red, you probably wouldn't have even expected that because you have Mustangs right here. Like, the Mustangs would just shoot down the Wasps. Mass-produced Wraith coming out for red. Interesting. What is blue gonna pick? Elite Crawler is kind of sketchy at all times. Level 5 Crawlers can be very devastating if your opponent doesn't counter them. But if your opponent counters them, you're feeding them an insane amount of XP. And you've wasted an insane amount of money. Okay, Mustang's going down for blue. Putting a lot more pressure, I assume, here. Yeah, there's the one Mustang there. The other one's going to go here. Yep. These need to be countered. They're already countered, but we're going to put more Mustangs back here just to really make sure that they're countered. Oh, this is the redeployment. That's what's going on. Okay. Yeah. I guess the Wasps are getting relocated elsewhere. Where'd they go? They're somewhere. I can't tell where they are. Am I blind? They should be somewhere over here. Did they get sold? No, they didn't get sold. Oh, there they are. Okay. Going cross-eyed trying to see where they are. Alright, next battle. Mustangs from red rolling in to die to the hounds. Someday they'll get range. And when they do, blue will regret. But until then, a lot of damage going out for these Mustangs from blue's Mustangs. Putting a lot into the Wraiths, which is not what Mustangs really want to be doing. But it's enough. It's enough. Red just doesn't have enough. Honestly, now that these hounds are level 2, they're a lot more effective. Didn't think they would be getting levels. Kind of surprised. Now we've got level 3 hounds down here. Are those level 3 hounds? I don't know. Subsidized Mustangs for blue. Assault Scorpion for red. What is the Assault Scorpion for? No, these are level 1 hounds. Alright, so a bunch of level 2 hounds. Pretty good. Range on the Mustangs from red means that these guys are not going to be contributing nearly as much in the coming rounds. I still don't know what suppression shots on the Void Eye are for. Still not sure, but that's okay. We've got Wraiths also. An open question what they're for. There will be... I haven't played this game in over a year. Have there been many changes? Yeah, there have been several new units added over the course of a year. The Void Eye is the newest one, and then previously, before that, the Abyss, the giant airbag, the giant blimp that dies to Mustangs. I don't know how the game was playing a year ago exactly, but I don't feel like it's changed that much. The new units... Oh, Hounds. Hounds were also a new unit that our opponent has invested a lot in. I wouldn't say that they've changed a lot. The game still plays largely the same. You've got new units, but they slot into the same spot. Alright, Scorpion on the right side from red, putting pressure on these hounds. Doing a lot of damage. Does it have an absorption thing? It does. It's still going. Wow, it's got 1 hit point, and that hit point is lasting it forever. Okay. Left side completely collapsed for red, but that is not where the fight is. The fight is over here, where all these Mustangs are taking apart red's army, blue's army, one piece at a time. Sabretooth has nothing to shoot at. Now it's Mustang versus Mustang. And it goes to blue. Okay. Compositionally wise, I would think that red is in a better position here, but as blue gets more levels, they're going to continue scaling. The hounds get better with more levels. Mustangs obviously are better with more levels. You put an enhancement module on the Mustang. That's a decision. Usually that goes on a giant. Maybe on a Wraith or a Scorpion. But level 3 Mustang is a problem for red to solve, and there's no solution here. Wraith range, maybe, but probably not. This side is absolutely putting pressure on this tower, and red needs to respond to it. I'm not seeing anything from red. We've got Scorpions here putting pressure on hounds. That's really not a position you want to be in, where you're getting Scorpions to counter hounds. And blue is investing in Stormcaller. That is definitely going to crush any sort of slow push from red here. If these Scorpions don't get the job done, it's over. This is going to fall apart. And oil coming from blue. Where is that going? That's going here to slow this down even further. Okay, so blue is going to hope that they crush this tower quick enough, and they slow this push for the Stormclaws to do enough damage that they can absolutely counter anything that red tries to pull off. Okay, so this is just mired and is just getting pounded on by rockets. Over here, we see the level 3 Mustangs are starting to kill the Wraiths way too quickly. That is only going to continue to snowball if red doesn't answer that soon. Left side completely collapsed. Right side actually collapsing from the Stormcaller. And it's just one Stormcaller too. That's kind of embarrassing for red. Very easily countered. Anti-missile. Simple 100. But you hate doing that. That's 100 credits you could have spent on anything else. And the oil sticks around, of course. So red's still got to worry about it. Again, we see a Raiden coming from blue. And we see a Sandworm coming from red. I assume this is going to get sold. Yep. Raiden doesn't fit in this army at all. Is a Sandworm getting sold? Something got sold from red. I don't know what. I don't get to know what. Also, red has the enhancement module. Where is it going to go? It could go on a Scorpion. Oh, no, it can't. Oh, what? Oh, the Raiden didn't get sold. In fact, we're going all in on Raiden from blue side. Okay. That is an interesting pick. And we're seeing Chaff go down. Crawlers up in the front. They're going to absorb these Scorpion shots and die instantly. Is that worth it? No. Let's pull them back, put them somewhere else. I don't know where they are. Meanwhile, we have Sandworm-geddon on the left side for red. Now that is a huge problem. Nothing on this side really counters this. Oh, and they're even getting beaconed. That tower is toast. That tower is toast. If the Sandworms can turn this around, then even though the Stormcallers here are doing terrible, terrible damage to this, nothing on this side, with the exception of the Raidens, is an answer to the Sandworm either. So, it's kind of a question of, do these Raidens make the difference? Let's see it. Sandworm's going in. Raiden's getting to work. Hounds crushing the Chaff on the right side. Sandworms emerged early. Yeah, that's going to happen. They are putting insane amounts of pressure over here. Even though they're not doing that, even though they're just hitting Chaff, they're letting this Wraith get close enough to the Mustangs to start shooting. Alright, but the Wraith didn't last very long because, you know, Mustang levels are pretty good. Right side, this is cleaned up. This is cleaned up, but all that's left are these Raidens, and the only thing to answer these Raidens are these 0 Mustangs, and I guess the Raidens made the difference. The Raidens made the difference. They need to be answered. Now, Sandworms do have an answer. Let's see if red actually has it on their bar. Alright, let's actually first see. Are they going to pick Nuke? Are they going to pick... all of these are actually... have an interesting equation. Intensive training for blue. Yeah. Really level up your Mustang. Okay, both sides have decided to go intensive training to level up their Mustang. Yeah, Mustang there, Mustang there. High level Mustang, very hard to deal with. Okay, so armor-piercing bullets is not an answer to Raidens. Anti-air is. They don't have anti-air on their Sandworms. That would absolutely answer the Raidens. They've got armor on the Sandworms, though, and that's an answer to... not this Mustang, but this Mustang for sure. Oh, no. Oh, no. The Raidens have ionization. So... I didn't see what red bought, but they didn't buy the right thing, because I don't see an answer to Raidens anywhere, and there's 4 of them on the board now. And the Raidens are a direct answer to these Sandworms now. That is going to absolutely, 100% seal this game for blue. The question is it going to be so bad that this is the last round, or will there be one more chance for red? Missiles going down, that is completely unnecessary. The Sandworms are not going to care one bit, and I don't, yeah, shield, why not? Sure, spend your money. If Scorpions could shoot up, if there was an anti-air for Scorpions, it would be a really, really, really different game. See on the right side that the Chaff here, able to run free, is giving blue a lot more of a tough time than when the oil is down. These Stormcallers are doing their best. On the left side, the Raidens have completely cleaned up. Being able to do, like, what is it, 60% of your max health? 40% of your max health to the target really cuts down on their health, you know? Yeah, the fact that the Mustangs here on the right side actually have enough space to move around means that they finally get to come to the battle. Are there no flank deployments on the map? There are flank deployments on this map. Yes. I don't think flank deployments... a flank deployment here would stretch this army apart, but that doesn't help. And a flank deployment here, that probably would help Red if they flanked on either side. I don't know if a flank here would help. Could help. The Mustangs... Oh, these are level 4 Mustangs. They are definitely an asset to have against Raidens. Really, it's just a question of if Red... I don't know what I'm talking about, because I thought that Blue had this in the bag. I did not realize that the Mustangs here would be such a dominant force if they aren't completely crushed by oil. Yeah. Well, that's egg on my face. But Blue can come back easily. If they just extend this battle a little bit, if they maybe get some more Stormcallers or something to answer these Scorpions, then they can turn this around on this side. And if they turn this around on this side is handily crushed. Handily crushed. Which was really good. Sandworms going that way? Is that really... Are you sure they're going to go that way? Because this tank is just going to block them. Or these hounds are going to block them. Let's see what happens. Shield going up first, and then EMP. Oh, we got acid scorpions. No, we don't. Where's this acid coming from? Oh, they're acid crawlers. Okay. That's cool. Great stuff. Right side, the Mustangs have a good concave. They are putting absolute pressure on Blue. I keep saying the word absolute. I'm going to have to train myself to stop doing that. The Raidens on the right side are dead, and the tower's dead, and this Sandworm is here just to watch the tower burn. Good job. These Mustangs are unanswered, and that is a huge problem for Blue. And Red has a Mustang. What are their Mustangs doing? What are these guys doing down here? Yeah, I don't know. This is a hard pick. Rhinos? Oh, those are going to be for a cheeky flank. 100%. Is it going to be enough? Who knows? None of these answer Mustangs. Farseers, maybe? Farseers it is. Okay. What is the plan for those rhinos? So we've got an Overlord on photon emission. So Red is putting all in on this side, hoping to stop. They are convinced that they've got it in the bag over here. Second Overlord. Okay, just kidding. They're spreading their wings. Oil coming out for Blue. So this should be pretty lopsided. If the past is any indication on how this is supposed to go. Where are the rhinos just tanking? No, there's going to be a flank somewhere. For sure. For sure. You wouldn't pick rhinos and then not flank. Would you? Oh, one of them got sold too. Okay. Yeah. That's just for money. Blue put the Farseers... EMP Farseers. That is a good answer to Sandworms. One over here, one over here. I think the oil is really what's gonna... Let's see what happens to these Mustangs. Because if they live, it's over. If they die, ooh. Rhino absorbing the sentry missile. Oil going down. And the fight over here is very much in Blue's favor. The Stormcallers are putting missiles onto the Mustangs. Hate to see when that happens. It doesn't look like there's anything else though. It's just the Stormcallers left and like 2 Raidens, and Raidens aren't going to do much to Mustangs. That is curious. Left side is completely dominated. These Mustangs, a force to be reckoned with. And I'm sure the Farseer helped. Yeah. Who knew oil was such a swing, a power swing? Last card of the match. Is it going to be intensive training? Is it going to be a nuke? Is it going to be photon emission? It's not going to be photon emission. It's going to be photon emission. But not for red, right? Red is going to pick nuke or shield airdrop, right? Okay, nuke coming for red. We've got two sides. Red is chosen the left side. They're going to try and put all of their hopes and dreams over here. The Mustangs are getting mighty. Level 6 Mustangs over here. Level 5 Mustangs over here. A lot of chaff coming over for blue. Hopefully able to stall those sandworms. That should be no problem. Especially acid sandworm or acid crawlers. That is going to be devastating for the sandworms to deal with. Question is, can these Mustangs do anything? There's oil over here. And there's a single Stormcaller over here. So, your Mustangs are invalid, question mark? I don't know what's changed. So I don't know if red has done anything to make this win. I see that the Sabertooth over here got moved. But to where, I don't know. Fighting going on both sides. Right side completely tarred up. Left side, that Overlord has some long-ass range. Sandworms popping up to die instantly. A nuke completely ending that fight. Right side, what's going on over there? Stormcallers hitting Mustangs. Mustangs ceasing to exist. All of Blue's army marching into the oil. That's not good. That's not good at all. Oh, there's a missile intercept over here. Didn't make a difference, but that's exactly what red needed. Ooh, is that game? That's not game. Okay, that's very close, and the oil is gone. So, red. This is where I'd invest all my stocks into red at this point. Because those Mustangs, they are salivating at this feast of a blue army they have. What are they going to pick, though, to stop that from happening? Blue getting Marksman. Marksman, a good answer to Overlord, I guess? Red getting Tarantula. A good answer to all these crawlers. There are a lot of crawlers, actually. Tarantula range. So we want these tarantulas fighting on. They're a good answer to Mustangs, but I've always thought that, like, force your opponent into Mustang, you go Tarantula and you win. But I've learned that if you do that, the Mustangs eventually overtake the Tarantula if you space them out. So I don't know. I don't know if Tarantula range is going to pay off here, but I mean, you got the money, why not? More Raidens coming down from blue. At this point, both sides are pretty calcified. Battle line is going to be here. Here, it's just a question of, is red going to push before, or sorry, is blue going to push up on the left side before red completely crushes the right side? Are these Mustangs going to take all of the victory, or is blue going to find a way to pull it out? Here we go. So much damage. Massive damage. Right side. It's all up to those Mustangs. Start doing damage. Battle line on the left side. Collapsing for red. The Overlords are getting pummeled by the Mustangs and they are gone. It is completely open field. On the right side, it's just Mustangs and an Overlord and they're about to die. It's just an Overlord. They didn't make nearly enough progress. Couldn't make the difference. And that's it. Alright, and we see now that this is an 1800 MMR game. Well above me, so I don't know what's going on. And that's totally fine. That's totally normal. Let's see. see a match. Hey, this one. Mustangs are just a good unit. They're really hard to analyze because they're just like low-level Mustangs are a chaff. They absorb damage. High-level Mustangs counter everything. I don't like high-level Mustangs counter Tarantula, and you would think that Tarantula counter Mustangs. And then you get armor, and you think, well, armor is a unit, is a technology explicitly to counter Mustangs. But if the Mustangs outlevel the armor, it doesn't work. It's just you spent money to delay them to annoy the Mustangs, and then they kill you anyway. But if you stop them from teching, if you keep them low level, they're just junk. They just don't do anything. Very strange unit. Probably very hard to balance. If you increase their attack speed by 5%, they might be like the best unit in the game. And if you decrease it by 5%, like they may never get built ever again. All right, game starting. Red picking the Rhino Specialist. I know you can't see it because I'm in the way. Arclight, Steel Ball. What is that? How do you make that work? I want to see that. Show me the way, Red. Blue getting Stormcaller Crawler. Sure. Interestingly, I feel like this is the worst comp to be facing Stormcallers with. Like everything Red has counters everything Blue has. But it's all about positioning. So those Steel Balls need to be... They need to get past the Crawlers. And the Arclights can get them there. But the Arclights need to be in the proper position to make that happen. Okay, so Red getting Crawlers and Blue, sensing that Red is getting Crawlers, has gotten Arclights. And they are both positioned around the tower. So this should be a very position-heavy match. Here we go. Crawlers getting ready to meet each other. Stormcaller missiles going out. They are going to hit some of them ending the Arclight. That's not good. But no damage. All the Crawlers are dead and the Steel Balls are free to play. Here they go. Up to the Arclights. The Arclights no longer exist. Right side. Steel Balls no longer exist, but the left side looking really good for Red. Blue does not have enough. That single Steel Ball is all it takes to end this match and make it a sad one for Blue. Okay, though. It's just round one. Round one doesn't mean much. Let's see what they go with. Blue needs to find something to establish a front line to delay the Steel Balls long enough for the Stormcallers to do damage. They're going to try and do that with Marksman. I don't think Marksman do that, but they're trying. Red opted for Sledgehammers. That's beyond me. I don't know why you would pick Sledgehammers. It's a good unit. Don't get me wrong. Doesn't really counter anything on the board. So either Red is reading, trying to predict Blue going Mustangs, or there's a tech involved that I am not seeing. I don't particularly understand. But Blue getting Fangs, more chaff. That's a good answer to the Steel Balls. Fangs will arrive late, just as the Steel Balls come in to hit the Stormcallers, and the Fangs will save the day and steal all of the XP, which is very important if you're very tiny and you want to become big. Arclight also, just to catch the Crawlers that aren't here, I guess. Let's see it go. See what happens. Crawlers spreading out. They're going to meet in the middle, which is generally where fights happen. Crawler on Crawler ends very quickly because Arclights say it does. And the Fangs are coming in to block these Steel Balls with great effectiveness. Good job. Marksman, a good counter to these Sledgehammers. Well picked. And it looks like those Fangs in the back absolutely made the difference. Once the Steel Balls were stopped, there's nothing to counter the Stormcallers from decimating everything on Red's side. And decimate they did. Now what is going to be round 3? We've got a bunch of cards. as we always do. Extended range arc light, tempting for both sides. That's how I feel. I love extended range arc light when I have arc lights. Underground threat, not a fan of it. Not a fan of it. Not especially on this board where it looks like both sides are protecting their towers pretty aggressively. Haste module, I don't know where you would put that on, but maybe on a Mustang. A Mustang would clean up on both sides here pretty good. Or put it on a sledgehammer, especially a rank 2 sledgehammer. But no, both sides have opted for extended range arc light. That's a good one. Both sides have arc lights. Red, increasing the range of their arc lights. That's going to be huge. A lot of arc lights here on blue's side, and they've also gotten range as well. Interesting. Interesting. Now, damn, that missile took out the Stormcallers. I didn't actually know which side that missile was on. Arc lights versus arc lights looks like it's going to be this fight. Now, since blue has marksman, I think blue is favored in that fight, but it's kind of a silly favor thing to be favored into because, well, where do you go from there? Cool, I said blue is favored and they collapsed. It's probably because of the sentry missile killing all of the Stormcallers, so there's no damage dealers, really. Arc lights, they're not that good against sledgehammers. Ooh, super supply enhancement from blue. Oh, both sides. Okay. Interesting. So they're going for the long game here. What units are they going to pick? It looks like Mustang would be bad for both sides. Red is getting their Rhino from being a Rhino specialist. Sentry missile for blue. Okay. So are they countering the sledgehammers? Question mark. What are they going to get here? They got the Rhino. Where's the Rhino going to go? Is it going to go for a flank? The flanks are open. Is it going to just be a meat shield? More marksman for blue? Sure. What did red get? Red still has one more unit drop. They've gotten another arc light. Are arc lights that good? I guess so. I guess so. Honestly, the way I'd play this, I'd be like, what's an anti-missile unit? I'm putting that down. I'm countering those Stormcallers, and I will win the round that I do that. And then I'll probably lose every other round after that because, you know, the opponent will just sell the Stormcallers. But I will win a round, and I will be happy. Now this is going to crush this Stormcaller, which should make this side very happy for red. And then these sledgehammers getting crushed on red side, making blue very happy on this side. So it's a question of who did the more damage. What grammar is that? I don't know. Steel Ball's running havoc. They're getting taken out just a bit too slow. And we've got this Rhino here. We're ready to take down that tower. Meanwhile, over here, it's just the Stormcallers, one Marksman, one Arclight. That's all that's left. Is that going to be enough? It could be. Just kidding. This Rhino is going to mop up this tower here. Take care of that, and then it's going to watch that Arclight die over there. All right. This is the game about picking Mustangs? Really? I was going to say Fire Badger or Tarantula. Both sides picking Mustangs. Sure. Very confusing to me because both sides have plenty of Arclights in play. And we have extended range Arclights at that. So these Mustangs are chaff. they're just chaff. They're also chaff against these Sledgehammers. So it makes even less sense for blue to have picked that. But sure, we got Sledgehammers going down to counter the the Mustangs. Elite Arclights. That's a very expensive tech to be picking when your Arclights are only level 2. But if these guys are like 2000 MMR, I'm going to be so confused. I mean, Mustang are a good unit, don't get me wrong, but not against Arclight. More Arclights come out. What is it with the Arclights? What is going on with the Arclights? I am so confused. So confused. My noob analysis says that blue really should be expecting red to get anti-missile. Mustangs can be that. Absolutely. So maybe the arc lights here makes sense. I don't... arc lights here, I don't... they didn't get arc lights. Elite marksman for arc lights here. I don't... Doesn't... Okay. Arc lights. Firing. Doing a lot of damage. I don't think anything else is really happening. It's just arc lights. This rhino over here is getting mad, crushing it on the right side. On the left side, it's arc light getting marksmaned. Yeah, it's just the arc light day. Day of arc lights. I mean, the Stormcallers are doing insane damage too, but they've been doing insane damage since round 2. So, what it is. Oh my goodness. Advanced offensive tactics for blue. Is it going to be defensive, offensive, another super supply? It's probably not going to be a super supply. That wouldn't make a lot of sense. Not in round 6. Because it takes 2 rounds just to break even on that. And then you only start getting extra value later on. So you'd have to expect the game to go really long, which it could. Fangs going down for blue. In the back. Really expecting this battle to last a long time. Mustang range for red. Not anti-missile, but range. Okay. Even more arc lights. We've got a wall of arc lights for red. Is that going to be enough? It does effective job against all of this chaff. It does not do an effective job against any of these marksmen. Still no answer to the Stormcallers. Maybe there is no answer. At the very least, I would expect like a crawler here to bait out the missiles or something. Some sort of motion beacon. What is it called? Fleet beacon? What's that ability called? Mobile beacon. Okay. Oil going down for blue. Good time slowing this rhino down. These Stormcallers are going to do insane damage. On the right side. On the left side, we see that the arc lights are hitting chaff, and the arc lights are hitting chaff. On both sides. Everything else is not... It's not worth pointing out. It's just... arc lights are hitting arc lights. Marksmen in the back are backing up the arc lights. Over here, we see this rhino. It's not even getting to this marksman because of the oil. Absolute value. Bunch of missiles, landing, marksman, cleaning up, and that's it for red. Here we go. Round 7. This is it. This is where red completely pulls their whole strategy of mass arc light together. It's gonna blow my mind. Okay, incendiary bomb for red. I expect to see that for blue too, because incendiary bomb is crazy. And I also expect to see both sides put down like 8 shields. Smoke bomb also an option. I don't feel like that's nearly as impactful though, so... Incendiary bomb. These should not be the same price. Should just not be the same price. There it is. Okay. Okay, the fire's going here. Alright. That's a good attempt to dodge the shields. We'll see if it is effective. Meanwhile, we expect to see fire from blue. Yeah, there it is. Alright, it's going to match up with the oil. Red should absolutely expect that and probably shield the oil. Let's see if they do, though. If they don't, then this is it. Like, that decides the game. Alright, we got carry arc lights for sure. Charge shot. What is that countering? I don't know. It's not countering the Stormcallers, that's for sure, but... It happened. And we get to watch the effects of it. But it doesn't matter what you do. Doesn't matter if you don't shield this oil right here. Game is over. We can just... I can just leave. There it is. Okay, there's some shields. I don't think that's enough. That looks very sketchy. It looks like this is going to catch. Here it comes. Ooh, solid connection from red on the fire. The fire here is stopped by that shield. Excellent. I think red knew that. I think red... I didn't know that because I don't play this game enough. But red absolutely knew exactly where to put that shield. And it's paying off. The shield is also doubling as a... protecting the army while it advances from these Stormcallers. They're getting through the oil, but they're not getting far enough to do damage. It's up to these Arclights. It's up to them. And the problem is... Just kidding, there is no problem. I was going to say, the problem is that the Arclights cannot reach the Stormcallers, but actually they can because extended range and elite marksman is just enough. They still lost, but it would have been worse if they didn't have all that. Sabertooth, anti-missile. Yeah, okay, there's a Sabertooth. Level 7 Sabertooth is such a wild card. Fang Shield for blue. Good counter to Arclights. Arclights hate Fang Shield so much, especially charged shot ones. Melting Point over here to counter the Crawlers. Yeah, these Stormcrawlers have a range of 180, and these Arclights have a range of 163. That doesn't feel... It feels like the Stormcaller should still... I guess it's enough of a... It's close enough that the Arclights can actually kill the Stormcallers without getting bopped in the face. Where's that Stormcaller? Did it get... Or where's that Sabertooth? Did it get sold? It must have, because I don't see it anymore. I see a Vulcan instead. Going to be doing the old oil and burn strategy. Gonna put the flames right here. Gonna make blue hate this round. And I guess they suspect that's coming because these shields are here. The game is Arclights and Marksmen. Plenty of chaff on both sides. These crawlers down here pulling this army apart, stretching it out, giving red a chance to really mess with this composition. Here comes the oil. Here comes the Vulcan. Prepare to burn. There it is. Alright, and all of Blue's army dies. I shouldn't say all, because there's a fight going on over here, but it doesn't matter. And there's a fight going on over here, but it doesn't matter. It's all about this center. If we can't take care of this Vulcan, it doesn't matter. It's down to Arclights. Arclight v Arclight. Who has EMP? The Arclights have EMP. Blue's Arclights have EMP. That is game changing. Does red have EMP? Because if they don't, and they're getting outranged. Oh, they are getting outranged. Yeah, okay. That's the EMP is making the difference. Excellent. Round 9. Orbital bombardment from blue. They are slapping that down on the Vulcan. Red, meanwhile, thinking about that laser sight, because a laser sight on an Arclight could be the difference, but no, of course, orbital bombardment. Of course, orbital bombardment. You gotta pick it. It's the most overpowered. Devs, please nerf orbital bombardment. Or take it out of the game, in fact. It's too good. It's too good. You can't not take it. Arclights for blue getting EMP. So that completes the quadfecta. We see that Arclight v Arclight is going to come down to who has the most highest level, beefiest, tankiest Arclights. And one Vulcan. That's not doing much at this point, but that's all where Bread's hopes and dreams rest. Let's see. Is it gonna be? Red has 300 left. Are we gonna put shields down? There's 1, 2. There it is. Okay, both sides have shields up, so these orbitals are gonna be favored to do nothing, but since they're RNG, you never know. Yeah, okay, a bunch of chaff dying over here. A bunch of chaff dying over here. Ooh. Red's orbital's very, very lucky. Don't think it'll matter. They're very lucky. Steel balls coming in from red to die. Arc lights are like, yum. Tasty. Sledgehammer's not very effective either. Vulcan. Even the Vulcan dies quickly. What's going on over here with this Wraith? Does red not have any anti-air? No. So that's GG. They don't even need these Wraiths though, because they just have a better concave, and holy crap, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, okay, 2000 MMR. I don't know. Yeah, but why are they going so heavy on arc lights? Why? I don't know. I don't understand. Let's go with this game. See, my new Braden thinks if you go heavy arc lights, if your opponent goes heavy arc lights, you go marksman, because marksman beat arc lights. It's as simple as that. Or Phoenix. Phoenix beat arc lights too. Phoenix beat arc lights so much harder. Phoenix are just, they're just good. They're just a good unit. They're hard to counter. Alright, we go to this match in progress and we see something strange. This is round 1 and red has only marksman and tarantula. No chaff. Who needs chaff? That's not this game. Chaff is for someone else. Meanwhile, blue here, they've got a pretty standard no chaff comp of hounds, sledgehammers, and a single saber-tooth. What is going on? I don't know. Neither side probably knows. A lot of these marksmen are going to snipe a hound and then die. Saber-tooth taking a lot of hits. Actually, since neither side has fast units, the marksmen are pretty chill. It just occurs to me. This is not how this is supposed to go. This is not how this is supposed to go at all, but there it is. Marksman having a field day because all of blue's army is slow. I don't think this tower matters. The answer is no, it didn't. Yeah, some cards happen. That's cool. Oh, Bread going assault marksman. Why can't I see that? Oh, did they undo it? Oh, they undid it. Undo is in this game now. If you haven't played, it's in. They added it with the most recent patch. Very good. Chaff coming down from red. Good call, because blue is going Stormcaller and Crawler. Stormcaller, an excellent counter to slow armies like Tarantula Marksman, and a terrible counter to Crawlers. We look at this board and we see that red is completely exposed here, and there's going to be an underground tunnel. That is going to make red very sad, but at the same time, this Stormcaller is going to make them very sad as well. These Crawlers are going to advance, get shot by hounds, and die. This Saber-tooth is not going to do much either. Yeah. A lot of damage going on in that Saber-tooth, and it dies, and the Crawlers are fighting Crawlers, and the Stormcallers are firing. And the first Tarantula is about to go down, and it's down. And the second Tarantula is about to go down, maybe, question mark? Almost. As soon as it goes down, these Crawlers have free reign. As soon as it goes down, it has 1 hit point left. It's holding on for dear life. Yeah, it's done. Alright. Crawlers say yum 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 yum. The marksmen are dead. Unfortunately for blue, those are underground tunnel crawlers. So they have to find a way to repeat that. Both sides getting all Arclight because that's this game apparently. You just get all Arclight. 4 Arclights going down to counter these 2 crawlers on this side and 1 crawler on this side. Oh, more crawlers. Yeah, that's a good call. Crawlers over here to make sure that that round 2 does not repeat for red. And crawlers over here because it's symmetry, y'all. Marksman becoming assault marksman. That is a decision. I don't particularly know what that accomplishes, but we'll find out in just a moment. The marksmen are going to put a lot of pressure on blue, and blue smartly has upgraded their tower in anticipation. Alright, a lot of crawlers from both sides coming on down. A lot of Arclights to answer the crawlers. Volley after volley landing on Red's army. No answer for the Stormcallers yet, but the marksmen are coming in. They're getting close. They are crushing, destroying the sledgehammers. And they have a lot of hit points now. They are very tanky boys. This bodes trouble for blue. Yep. That happened. So now, how does blue respond? Improved Phoenix, snapping that up instantly. Meanwhile, red has a choice. Shield airdrop is good. Subsidized crawler is a meme. Shield airdrop is good. A lot of missiles going down for blue to put these crawlers in the grave. But it looks like red is going to try and put a shield down to make that still a threat. All of these assault marksmen are getting answered with EMP Arclights. That is a solid counter, if I've ever seen one. They also have range. That's a very expensive Arclight. For round 4, the majority of blue's money is invested in Arclights. And you know what? I'm not going to say they're wrong, but I am going to raise my eyebrow. Over here we see a marksman assault with some crawlers on a flank. Over here we don't see anything from blue. We've just got a battle line here. A very, very thin layer of chaff that's dead. And our Stormcallers are going to be doing a lot of damage from blue side. You know, Assault Marksmen are pretty good, but they're not Sabertooth good. Although that one did just eat a Sabertooth shot and not die. Most Assault Marksmen cannot claim that. Looks like the EMP is making a huge difference as this completely collapses for red. It's just one Arclight behind a shield, and that shield is not going to hold. It's gone. And the Stormcallers try to steal the kill from the Sabertooth, but the Sabertooth isn't having it. Interesting choice. Mustang. Very interesting. Farseer, interesting. Wasp is a good pick because both sides are a little lacking on the anti-air. Just kidding. Red has plenty of anti-air. Blue is lacking on it. And red is going to capitalize on that mistake. Coming soon. Let's see where those wasps go. Are they going to flank? Sentry missile for blue here. Stuff the left side, left flank from them. We see fangs here to absorb Arclight shots, I guess. I don't particularly know. I guess it's to keep this Sabertooth alive longer. Wasp. Wasp line starting. For red. Maybe. Still thinking. We could put wasps here, we could put them on the flanks, we could put them anywhere. We could put them in the corners. We could just forget about them, leave them in the spawn. Nope. Alright, they're going over here. Putting pressure on this tower. This tower level 3, nice. Did not notice that. Level 2 tower though. That is a potential. Oh, we're just spacing the wasps out. All good. All good from red. Blue is locked in. Red is about to lock in, and we are ready to go. Flanks on Blue's side are cleaned up, and now the fight begins proper. Farseer taking care of the wasps, but there's only one of them. Meanwhile, everything on Blue's side is dead. Sorry, there are 2 Farseers, but it's still not enough. It's down to the Farseers and this Sabertooth, really, to do everything. Can they do everything? Possibly. These towers are tanky, and most of Red's army is hitting tower instead of army. Until they weren't. And Blue instantly died. Yeah. Smoke bomb. Smoke bomb. Put a smoke bomb along the line here to make it hard to shield it. See sentry missiles here on Blue side to try and make a little bit more space. What is the dominant problem that Blue is facing right now? This right here is just not sturdy enough to face up against this entire wave of assault marksmen and arclights. But they've got the answers in hand. They've got the EMP arclight. They've got a stormcaller. They've got some amount of frontline. So really what they need to do is just bring it all together, and then Red should crumble. The flanks are already taken care of pretty solidly, although there is an assault marksman on this side. That's going to be a problem for this Farseer to clean up, and this Farseer over here has a lot of work to do. Over here, we've got a bunch of arclights. It looks like there's a fair amount of chaff, but there's also a fair amount of chaff clear on account of these arclights. So perhaps Blue's problem is just a lack of damage. Perhaps a couple marksmen, a couple phoenixes, maybe a scorpion. Maybe that makes the difference. We'll see. Blue opting for the cheeky underground tunnel here in the back, gonna hit this tower. Claim victory. Sneakily. Here it comes. 5 seconds till that tower pops, and then Red cries. Yep. It looks like Red is dead. Everything cleaned up. Thus, the flanks are pretty solidly in Blue's favor, so all they really have to do is hold on here. They don't need to put pressure. Once the flanks are cleaned up, Blue will have a superior concave. Clean up everything else that's going on. Blue picking a nano repair kit. What's that going to go on? Red thinking about intensive training or nano repair kit. Both very solid options, although intensive training on an arclight, questionable at this point in the game. No, it looks like it's going on an assault marksman. That's totally fine. Here we go. Blue opting for another Farseer, probably in the middle to take care of the wasps. Yep, there it goes. We need a little more damage probably, but other than that, it looks like Blue is set. Red, what have you done? Where are you making a difference? 2 phoenixes back here. Cheeky, cheeky play from Blue. Abyss! We see an abyss come down from Red. That's the desperation flag flown right there. We don't know how to win. So we're going to put this abyss down in the middle. Absolutely put a lot of pressure. Now, Blue doesn't have a lot of anti-air. They just have Farseers. And Farseers, actually not that good against abysses. So this is going to be horrific. But Blue still has a comfortable amount on the flanks. So really it's going to be a question of, once the flanks collapse, can this abyss start knocking down towers before the Farseers start knocking down abysses? Ooh, missiles too? What the heck? That is very bold. Oh, and you put your intensive training on the abyss too. Alright, so we're not concerned about this round. We're concerned about the next round. These phoenixes coming in, locking in a victory right there. The round could just end right there. It doesn't matter. Everything is going to collapse in just a second. This abyss looking a little awkward, looking a little isolated. Everything else in Red's army is dead. Now there's a bunch of Farseers knocking on it, and a Phoenix. And it's dead. Sneaky, sneaky Phoenix. But even without those Phoenix, it's kind of an open question how red comes back, because the flank's still in blue's possession. Comfortably. Comfortably. Ion Cannon down here. Is it the Ion Cannon? Ion Blast. Going to make a mess of this front line here. We are all in. Red is all in on the center. Blue countering with their own Ion Blast. Both should be very devastating. Who knows, though, what is going to happen. We see that red has plugged up the hole by putting a marksman up here, and I think they put a marksman up here too. So, cheeky plays, we're done. This Abyss is level 2 now. Is it going to make the difference? It needs to do a lot of value. It absolutely needs to crush if it's going to keep red in the game. What is going to happen? Let's find out. Shields going down. Both sides. We want to keep these ion beams off of our units as long as possible. That is not going to help much because shields... ion beams do a lot of damage and shields don't have that many hit points. But, you know, if you got the money, why not? More chaff coming down from blue. When you're ahead, put some chaff in. Seal that deal. Here we go. Marksman doing work up here. Beams. Crushing it. Absolutely crushing it on both sides. It doesn't look like blue has anything surviving. It's a completely collapsed army right here down the center, and this Abyss is starting to find easy prey over here. It's melting phoenixes, which is never a good sign. Melting a tower. It's down to this Farseer, and that's it. And this Farseer has a nano repair kit, and that does not matter one whit. Over here, 2 Phoenixes and 1 Farseer are not going to make the difference against an Abyss. That is commanding. Now, the Ion Blast made a huge difference in giving this Abyss basically a runway. So, there's no guarantee that red can repeat that if they just press go right now. They may need to put in some more work to make that Abyss as powerful as it is. Blue picking up some Raidens. What are they going to do? Ionization? Are we going to see ionization? Well, we don't get to see it because the red is still thinking. Now they're thinking, could they pick... Pikia Tuna Quasa. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Blue is thinking... red is thinking, sorry, Overlords. Because... they're going to do something cheeky with it. I'm not sure. I don't think that's the most thought out plan for those Overlords. Put them in the back. I guess once the flanks collapse, they come in and clean up. Maybe they'll get a kill on some crawlers. Maybe they'll get a kill on a hound. That's not where the fight is, though. Oh, they're the mothership Overlords. Okay, that makes sense. So they're going to be... We're going all in on blue's lack of anti-air. So we really need to see something to push down the middle here for red. Give this Abyss enough runway to start hitting a tower, and if they do, the flanks for blue, which blue still absolutely has a commanding position on, will find victory. But if blue can hold on, it doesn't look like blue has done anything to reinforce this. If blue can hold on, the flanks will come around, and we'll see victory for blue. What did the Raidens get? They didn't get any upgrade. Ionization is there, so you know that could have been an excellent play. But it doesn't matter, they're getting completely stuffed by shielded wasps that are being replenished by these Overlords. Excellent play, delaying the flanks as long as possible with all this chaff. The Abyss is running wild. Even though it's EMP'd, it's still a level 2 Abyss. And it has big beams, and it turns out that Farseers don't have that many hit points. And actually the Overlords are putting pressure back on the flanks, so yeah, my bad. Overlord's really good unit apparently in this specific matchup, and yeah, the Overlords even to turn it around. So 1800, 1700 MMR game, 1800 MMR game. Very well done, GG. Let's go to the next game. Let's see this one. Spectator delay is enabled. I don't understand why people are going so heavily on arc lights. They're a good unit. Don't get me wrong. They're a good unit. They're a good chaff clear. When your opponent has a lot of chaff, or low levels of chaff, not high levels of chaff. If they have low levels of chaff, arc lights, yeah, great. Get arc lights. Once you have arc lights, getting more arc lights, I don't understand what that's doing. I feel like arc light carry is a very, very counterable strategy, but it's cool seeing arc light versus arc light. So I'm not going to complain. I shouldn't complain. I'm complaining because I'm confused, not because it's not cool. Now, a unit that I don't understand still, Overlord. Mothership makes a lot of sense. That ability makes a lot of sense. Spamming shielded wasps to delay the opponent makes perfect sense. But other than that, that unit bounces off my head and does not make any sense. It's very expensive. It doesn't have nearly as many hit points as it should have for a giant flying fortress. And its missiles, the missiles can be shot down. And they do a lot of damage to one unit. But usually that unit is a crawler. And I don't know why you would do that. All right. Here we go. Blue has a choice. Which specialist are they going to pick? Red picking the cost control specialist. Crawler, Sabertooth. I just realized I can turn off my camera. Red picking the Farseer specialist. Did I get those backwards? Yeah, I did. Blue picking the Farseer specialist. Red picking the cost control specialist. We see red has my favorite opening, Sabertooth Crawler. It's not my favorite opening. My favorite is Sabertooth Arclight, but this is a great one. It's a great one. Over here we got Tarantula Marksman, and we're getting Crawlers, of course. It's an excellent counter to this lack of chaff clear from red. And red should recognize that, and they're either going to get Arclights or Hounds. We'll see that in just a moment. Positioning is defensive over here, and meanwhile red is being blue is being extremely aggressive with these Crawlers and Tarantulas. That's too aggressive. What is this? This is way too aggressive. Arclights pairing up with the Sabertooths. Batcrawler makes sense. These marksmen don't make a lot of sense, but they haven't been positioned yet. So there we go. Okay, crawlers, that's a more sane position. You want your crawlers to meet the enemy crawlers in range of your guns. That's what I was taught. Here we go. Here we go. This is the positioning we all know and love. Aggressive from blue, defensive, standard from red. Let's see how this turns out. Sabertooth will absolutely crush the Tarantula if it gets to shoot at them. Marksman will tickle the Sabertooths into submission if the Sabertooths are exposed for too long. It's a matter of which chaff clear is better. Here we go. Blue crawlers taking hits. Marksman locked onto the Sabertooth. That's good for blue. A couple more shots and those Sabertooths are out. But the Tarantulas are out as well. Nope. One is still up. That's good news for blue. That is a GG. This Sabertooth are dead, so the Tarantulas have free reign to do whatever they want. And the Marksmen are also there. They are there to kill the Sabertooths, and then afterwards, they are there to receive money for being there. They're getting paid. Do these robots get paid? I don't actually know. Unit selection options. Chaff, but level 2 chaff. Void Eye? Huh? Fire Badger is an answer to a question that no one is asking, and so is Wraith. But Wraith is an air unit, and both sides... Just kidding, blue has anti-air. Red, though, does not. Blue getting the Void Eye, so... We're just gonna make a stiffer army, it looks like. What is red gonna pick? Level 2 chaff, not the best pick. Also, it costs 100. Okay, Fire Badger, an answer to a question no one is asking. We see the Fire Badgers going over here. That's a decision. We really want to make sure that we don't get hit by chaff over here. We're not currently getting hit by chaff, but we really want to make sure that these crawlers that our opponent just bought don't get put over here, because if they do, this Fire Badger will punish them. Got him. Meanwhile, what did red pick? Did red just sell their unit? Oh, or blue, sorry. What did blue pick? They just sold their unit. That's, sure, totally fine. I don't really see other unit development from red here. They're just putting down crawlers. Crawlers. More chaff on both sides. That favors blue. Oh, and fangs. Yeah. Heavily punished. Heavily punished. Watch these Fire Badgers reach this tower. Does that make a difference? No, it does not. But it makes blue feel bad. It means that these Sabertooths overkill these marksmen by even more, and that is just embarrassing. To be overkilled by a Sabertooth. That is the life of a marksman. Rhino Assault from blue. Option of Fortified Arclight or Quick Cooldown. No, not Quick Cooldown. I'm not kidding. Rhino Assault, Fortified Arclight, or skip. Makes the most sense here. Fortified Arclight, yeah. Rhino going over here. That's gonna get a tower kill. Guaranteed. Blue. Picking up some Tarantula. I guess they're going deeper on that. What are they going to get? They're going to get an upgrade for sure. Unbeknownst to them, red has upgraded their Arclight range to compensate for the Fortified Arclight. I don't particularly know if that's a good value, but it happened. More Tarantula. Tarantula going over here. Oh, the Fire Badger got sold. Okay. That's just a one-time tryst. Double shot for the Sabertooths. Now that is overkill on marksman. That will make the marksman feel even badder. For sure. Where are we going to see more units? Where are they going to get placed? Because, oh, no, they bought units. What did red buy? Did they just buy chaff? Did they just buy crawlers? Crawlers? Blue has bought crawlers. Here we go. Fangs meet fangs. Rhino is in the field, taking up all the chaff, which is real bad news for red. We see a lot of Arclight fire and Tarantula fire, making every small unit feel bad. And now marksmen are locking onto the Sabertooth. The Sabertooths are doing devastating damage to crawlers. One Tarantula goes down. And that's it. One Tarantula goes down. The last Sabertooth goes down, and they are free to murder. This Rhino is going to reach a tower and take it down. Just for the lulz. Does not help the battle in any way, but it definitely feels bad. And that's what we're here for. Let's see. Blue getting their Farseer. Should see this real be messy for red in just a moment. Options. Mass-produced Overlord. That's a decision. Blue has picked a card that does not make any sense to me. Don't know why it's in the game. Red. Deployment module looks like a juicy pick. Mobile beacon looks like a juicy pick. You could have picked subsidized Stormcaller. Go back in time. Pick subsidized Stormcaller from round 2. And then have 100 cost Stormcallers and just go mass Stormcaller. Is that a good play? No. But you could do it. Going heavy on the Stormcallers here for red. That is big deal because it is going to make all of the chaff that blue has feel bad. It might even make a Tarantula feel bad. Overlords, completely unanswered. That is devastating for blue, or for red, and I don't think red has any reason to expect it, honestly. I wouldn't. Oil. Coming down, we're going to make this middle here very slow, just kidding, we're going to put it here. And chaff should bunch up. Red, this match should go a lot more in red's favor because a third of their chaff is not going to get tied up by a single Rhino. Or is it? Here we go. Alright. Coil is down. That's mainly going to slow down crawlers. Tarantula are in range, more or less. There they go. They're firing. Overlords hitting chaff. Saber-tooth's hitting chaff. Tarantula's getting missiled down on the left side. That is not good. These crawlers are free now to die to this tarantula over here, which is going to receive a lot of missiles in about 3, 2, 1. It's already dead. It received no missiles. My bad. Why did these saber-tooths have double strike? Anyway, Overlord's cleaning up because there's no anti-air on the field. So GG, blue wins. Hard countered, turns out. We found the time to play Overlords, and it is in round 4. How's Red going to respond? Okay, Phoenix drop. That counters. But we're going Mustang. Mustang is also a good all-purpose unit. With the anti-air upgrade, Mustangs absolutely wreck Overlords. Do the Overlords here have armor? They do not. They have no answer to being torn apart by Mustangs. So Mustangs here for red get range. Mustangs for blue are just spaced out evenly. Spaced out just behind the tarantula. It looks like they're going to serve as chaff for the tarantula. That's fine. Red opting to get fire stormcallers. Blue going all in on Overlord. Okay, that's a decision. I don't know how Overlords... I don't know how to use Launcher Overload. So I'm just going to not say anything. Let's see what happens. Melting point for red. That means that these Overlords are going to feel really bad if the Overlord or the melting point locks onto it. Otherwise, a lot of crawlers are going to be vaporized by a giant beam. I look forward to seeing what this melting point accomplishes. I look forward to it. Prediction: the Mustangs kill steal the Overlords from the melting point. And then the melting point dies to crawlers. But like at the very end. No, that's silly. It wouldn't die to crawlers because all of the crawlers are going to die to fire. Alright. Melting point locking on. Taking down the first Overlord. Mustangs, meanwhile, chipping away at the second one. A lot of missiles coming out of the Overlord. Taking out an Arclight. Taking out one Mustang. Taking out 2 more Mustangs. Very well done. That Overlord now taking out nothing else because it's dead. Round 6, skip for blue. Meanwhile, red thinking about that super heavy armor for their melting point. They could make a ultra melting point. Their melting point could have way too many hit points. There it is, super heavy armor going on the melting point. That melting point is a meme now. Be careful. People are starting to type that melting point needs to be nerfed in forums right now. Second melting point. This one doesn't have armor. It's also no, it's mirrored. It's mirrored to the first one. So they're each one melting point per Overlord. And they get range. Very important upgrade. Fangs, are they going to go in front? Yep, there it is. All right, red is feeling very confident in their victory. Blue here being a little cheeky. Flanks on both sides. This flank is going to fail because there's a Mustang there. But over here, what do we got? Crawlers. That's it. Now, crawlers do answer fangs. So, this is mainly just going to stretch red's army. What is red going to do to capitalize on that? Let's find out. We'll find out in a few seconds. But first, gotta put a missile here. That missile feels good. Hit these fangs. Not kill all the fangs. Kill half the fangs. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The chaff war, largely over, just as it began, thanks to the invention of fire. It's a good invention. Melting points locking on to overlords, and the overlords are ashamed and explode. And now there's nothing to answer the last melting point. How did this melting point die? Did it die to the overlord? Sure. Why not? Behold round 7. A round heavily favored to red because they have the meme, the dream, the melting point. Blue has an opportunity to respond. Well, let's see what they go with. Both sides picking ion blasts, and they're going to put it in the middle. Red opting to put an ion blast to crush this overlord. Blue is going to put theirs probably over here. That's my guess. More Stormcallers coming out for red. That's rude. Nope. Putting it over here. We want to make this melting point sad. Very well. Let us see what else we get. We get Mustangs over here to answer these fangs. What else are we going to see? A Rhino drop right here? I've never seen that before. That is the most interesting place to put a Rhino. Not over here. Over here to draw away chaff, or over here to put pressure on the tower. But here in the middle, between all of the overlords, to take as much damage as possible before exploding. Let's see what happens. Shields up on both sides. Shields, or not both sides, on red side. So this ion beam will probably not kill the melting point. Probably. Oil. Okay. Here we go. There's the Rhino. Oh, that's Blue's Rhino. Okay. I'm an idiot. I thought that was Red's Rhino, and I was like, that Rhino is going to instantly die. What are you doing? And it looks like the Rhino runs into the ion beam of Blue and doesn't accomplish anything. But you know what? That's totally fine, because it looks like Blue is crushing everything that Red has. It's just this melting point with the armor, and that armor is a meme, but it's not that much of a meme. And that's game. I think the fire killed most of Red. I think that's what happened there. That's why that Rhino was just like, I'm just going to run forward into my own ion beam and die. And that's totally... There's worse ways to die. We see Incendiary Bomb on both sides. Here it is. They're really drawing out the... Clicking the Incendiary Bomb button. Maybe there's lag. There could be lag at play here. We don't know. Maybe I'm lagging. Nope. Didn't pick it. Both sides picking laser sights instead. Interesting. Don't know why you would do that. But it happened. Oil coming down for Red. Putting it in front of the army to stop Fangs, Crawlers, Tarantula. Shields going down because we expect our opponent to put fire on our stuff. Oh, they undid it. Nope. They're just positioning it. Cool. What do we see here? Blue also suspects fire. Has their name on it. Putting down shields as well. Going to be blocking this oil at the same time. It is what it is. More melting points from Red. That is going to answer these overlords that Blue just bought. But there's no guarantee that the melting points here will ever lock on, because there's just a lot of chaff on this field. It's just a lot of chaff. Anything could happen. Missile here, missile there, missile there. Go. A lot of chaff are dying in the name of delaying the enemy, and the overlords are firing missiles, doing a lot of damage. That is intimidating. That many overlords. This is hard to respond to, and the overlords are crushing everything. And then the melting points are locking into the overlords, and the overlords are gone. So, you know what? I still don't understand. Still don't understand. But that is game. GG. Well played. Melting point is pretty good. Let's go to the forums, everyone, and write about how they need to be nerfed. That was a 2000 MMR game. Let's go on to the next one. I picked this one. We begin the game already in progress as we see blue down here with Sabertooths and Crawlers playing asymmetrical, all on the right side. Meanwhile, red up here, Hounds and Sledgehammers and Phoenix. So I guess they're quick supply. Yep, they're quick supply, and blue is the elite. Ooh, elite. Ooh, that hurts. I see they've unlocked Hounds. They put them down. They suspect that red is going to go with some sort of chaff. I've got bad news for you, blue. Red is quick supply. They didn't get chaff. They got a Phoenix. There's no anti-air for red, for blue. There's no anti-air for both sides other than these Phoenix. That is bad news. This is a GG for round 1 for red. But let's see how this fares other than these Phoenix. So we see Hounds come in, mop up the chaff, but not really, because there's a lot more chaff than there are Hounds. And the Hounds all die. And now it's Sledgehammers versus Sabertooths, and that is heavily favored to the Sabertooths. But the Phoenix come in. There are a lot of Crawlers. There are a lot of Crawlers, so these Sabertooths are pretty comfortable. This would have been a much more comfortable battle if Sabertooth could shoot up. But they can't. Blue has a lot to think here. They need to put a lot more pressure on the right side because red is blue is all in on the right side, and they lost the right side. They barely won the right side. They basically lost the right side. More Phantom Ray over here. Meanwhile, Arc Lights for red. And then they need to counter this Phoenix, and that is a hard set of problems when you are elite spec, and you can't get a lot because you don't have that much money. So you got this Phantom Ray here that needs to do work, and you've got Hounds here. Phantom Ray is the only answer to Phoenix, but also for red, Phoenix is the only answer to Phantom Ray. So really, this battle will be decided in the air, but it'll be decided based on how the ground game goes. And more Crawlers for blue. They're putting a lot of pressure up here in this corner. So it looks like they're kind of giving up on this. They're just kind of letting this... They're hoping that this falls apart. Because they're putting a lot of pressure up here, but red doesn't have an army here to pull away. If they put the pressure over here, that would stretch this army out. Give this more of a chance to hit this tower. But since they're going all in on this tower, multiple angles, very... it's very much a case where blue is spreading themselves thin, which will pay off if they can get a complete concave. But until then, red reaching this tower here, and in just a second they will go take it down, and then we will see these Phoenix have 9 seconds of leeway to do whatever they want, and they need to take out these Phantom Rays. And I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to do it. Maybe not. Nope, yeah, they're doing it. There it is. All right. All right, so now it's a question of, can blue join their forces into a combined assault on that right tower? And can they delay their left tower from falling quick enough? Incendiary Bomb here, it's a bit early to be picking that. Subsidized Stormcaller feels great for red, not so great for blue. Improved Tarantula for blue. Not sure what that's for, but it's been picked, and you know what? Red is picking a bomb, and that's totally fine. We can put that bomb over here. That's a little much. That's a little much. We're going to put a Wraith over here instead, says Red. That Wraith is going to absolutely answer everything over here. It just needs to not get missiled by the Phantom Ray, and I think that should be very plausibly done. Hounds as well, just to really make sure that Phantom Rays are useless. A waste of money. Meanwhile, Blue has decided to give up this tower. That's what I would do. And they are putting out... what did they do? They did something, but I don't know what they did. Oh, Mustangs. Okay, they put out Mustangs. So those Phoenix aren't unanswered. Oh, and the Tarantula, I see. They put out a Tarantula and a Mustang, and the Tarantula is doing absolute work. And the Mustangs are also doing absolute work, and this is completely collapsed. It's true that this is answered by that Wraith, but now this remains an open question for Red. Army splitting for Blue. Who's going to knock down the tower first? It's Red. It's Blue. Blue takes down Red's tower, and that means it is over for Red. They didn't even get this tower down. Excellently answered. Red needs to rethink that offense. Oh, they're still sitting on the fire. They never played it. Okay, both sides getting laser sights. Laser sight for Blue going down right there on the Tarantula. Improved Tarantula at that. Very good. Very good answer to these hounds. Red thinking about putting down either some defense here or some offense here. Fire going down. I guess that's the defense. Nope, we're putting a Wraith over here too. That is a curious pick. Just kidding, we're undoing that. Undo that. That didn't happen. We didn't see anything. Over here, this is answered if Blue doesn't do anything. I think upgrading that Phantom Wraith counts as doing something, though. Okay, Wraith is going over here for Red. And they did something else, but I spaced out and didn't see what. Mustang over here. We're going to delay the inevitable on this tower here, just long enough for this army to fight. Unbeknownst to Blue, that army is doomed. It's going to be set on fire. Oh, Sabertooth on Red's side. Okay. That is a decision. I'm not entirely sure. I guess it's to answer the Tarantula. That is a good call. Because that Tarantula is a load-bearing Tarantula. Alright, Blue's army is on fire and dies a gruesome, gruesome death. And you know what? That's all of Blue's hopes and dreams right there, set on fire. Fire really good. Hey, you know what? Maybe we should go on the forums and say nerf fire. But that won't happen again. The fire is expended. What is Red going to do to stop that Tarantula from destroying everything that Red loves and holds dear? Let's see here. We have Fire Badger from Red. That is an answer. Blue, thinking about that Stormcaller, thinking about the Wasps, thinking about the Fire Badger. Steel Ball, actually. Steel Ball is the choice, and they are going to go on the left side to put more pressure there. Hound range for Red. That should be delicious. Also, Fire Badger range from Red. Oh, the Steel Balls are going on the flanks. Okay. And the other Steel Ball, yeah, it's on the left. Tarantula. Red feels confident that that's answered. We've got the Wraith here, level 2. Pretty good answer. We've also got the Sabertooth here. Theoretically an answer, if it gets there. Phantom Rays coming up close. They are going to receive a lot of Phoenix shots for free, but I think they're going to try and Alpha Strike that Wraith. Just kidding, they got backed up. Yeah, they realized that, hey, maybe we shouldn't get shot by Phoenixes. Meanwhile, one more unit drop here from Blue. What are they going to do? They have options, question mark? They've chosen Fang. Fang, excellent option. Excellent form of chaff. putting them in front of the left tower. So it looks like blue has a pretty solid army here. They might be able to just push on forward, but at the very minimum, they will hold this off long enough for this side to let this tarantula do work. Now, is the tarantula going to survive all of this? The answer is no. It's dead, and the wraith is dead. We got these phantom rays here. And they're crushing it. They're crushing it. One phoenix holds off over there, but meanwhile over here we have the flanks for blue. Actually, that's it. That's all we have, because still over here this offense is not nearly enough. Red still takes it. And it's just these phantom rays, and they're not going to hold. They're done. Alright, so the right side, blue barely has, but red has got a sizable defense long enough to make the difference. And then over here on the left side, red has a commanding force that blue needs to answer. What is blue going to do? Tarantula range. Another tarantula. We are going to say all in on tarantula. Hopefully that makes the difference for blue. Hopefully. Does it answer everything that red has? We will find out. Meanwhile, red choosing to reinforce up here, because these phantom rays are the one thing that they have to worry about right now. More phantom rays could be coming. They need to be prepared. What are they getting? Chaff. Fangs. Yeah. Absolutely. And level 5 crawlers. Apparently they got elite crawlers. Okay. Now, unfortunately, I think level 2 tarantula do answer level 5 crawlers, so this is not going to meme on blue. But, I mean, they're already winning, so no, why not? Why not just bury the lead? Give these crawlers some replicate. They will win a round on their own with that. Absolutely, 100%. Is that going to pay off? Is that worth the money? Because those crawlers are 300 each. Each crawler, level 5 crawler, is a wraith. It could have been a wraith. Let's see it. The right side. Blue is not pushing. Blue is absolutely stuffed. Left side. Red is collapsing, but not quick enough. The steel balls are making connections to hounds, and once those hounds are dead, it's it. It's just the phoenix. So, a reversal almost. Blue pushing on the left side now with those extra tarantula. Meanwhile, red with those crawlers now has enough of an edge, but it looks like the phoenix are unanswered. The tarantula do not beat phoenix, and thus red carries this game to victory. That was close. 1600 MMR game. Okay, okay, that's still above me, but that's not like alien to me. So hopefully I understood what was going on in that game. Let's go to our next match, which is in spectator delay mode. Well, here we go. I really wish that the spectator view for this game would let me review what choices players have made. It would be really nice to be able to see, oh, that's what they did. Oh, that's what card picks they had. Oh, you know, because this goes really fast, especially if the players are playing fast. And yeah, I would love to know what's happening. Yeah. I wonder if I haven't seen a lot of Void Eyes. We've seen Void Eyes that players have started with. We haven't seen a lot of people building Void Eyes. I think we saw a unit drop with Void Eyes, but no one picked it. But are Void Eyes, like, Is there room for like cheeky shenanigans with them? Is what I'm wondering. All right, blue and red. Here we go. These are our two players. As always, let me just duck down to see what red picks. And they picked Giant Specialist. You know what that means. Round 2 Sandworm. Every time. All right. Down here, we see that blue has started with Fang Stormcaller, and red has started with Tarantula Marksman. I was going to say Sharpshooter, which is not correct. Red is Giant. Blue is the Saber-tooth Specialist. Very cool. We see that Arc Light's for blue to answer the crawlers that red has bought. Is it going to make a difference? These crawlers are out of position here, but over here, they're going to connect, take out the fangs, give these tarantula all the time in the world they need to pave the way forward. These Stormcallers trying to hold on. Tarantula don't have that many hit points, so one more volley should do it, and then the marksmen are exposed. But the tower goes down, and that tarantula is going to hold. And if the tarantula holds, the marksman will clean this up. Here they go. And we're cleaning it up. Tarantula falls, but it's too late. Round 1 goes to the marksman. Let's see where round 2 goes. Red has pressure on the left tower, and blue has to make up for that somehow. What are they going to pick? Void Eye is an option. I don't know what it does. It's an option. I wouldn't pick it. Rhino doesn't really answer anything, but it's also like a good flanking unit. Wraith for blue doesn't make a lot of sense. None of these make a lot of sense for blue, actually. I'd probably pick Rhino. I'd pick Rhino. I might sell the Rhino. Yeah, you put it on a flank. I see red here is being cheeky, putting it on a flank. Let's just hide that. We know they're gonna pick a Rhino. There it is. Sorry, that's not a Rhino, that's a tarantula. You're flanking with a tarantula, red? That makes sense. You got this nice, beautiful concave here. Rhinos have unintentionally met on the battlefield. I see that a mobile beacon is going to try and be cheeky, but turns out Rhino stops Rhino. So, good try. What else you got? Red, tarantula. What else? I guess this crawler. Nope, not those crawlers. Probably one of these crawlers, I think they built. Blue's picking fangs. They're just trying to establish their space. If they can hold back red for long enough, the Stormcallers will do work. Unfortunately, this tarantula is in a very annoying spot for blue, pulling this arc light away, and these fangs. And this tarantula does not give a shit. So, rip. Meanwhile, over here. Oh, what? This Rhino survived? Very cool. Very unfortunate for red. Giving red a hard time because these Stormcallers have the time they need to put pain on these marksmen, and they're dead. And with the marksman dying, so do red's hopes and dreams. Honestly, that goes to the Rhino. The Rhino surviving. Huge. Massive. Okay. Fortified Mustang. I don't know why you'd pick that. Wasp Swarm is a good one. Missile Strike also good. Proved Overlord. I honestly don't know why you'd pick that. I guess blue is suspected that a missile strike is coming down because they've bunched up their units, which I like to do that too. And they put a shield, but they put it in the wrong place. Red, well played. Blue, sorry. Red getting chaff, blue getting Phoenix. We're really putting pressure on the right side here. Good stuff from blue. We really want to recognize our strengths and capitalize on them. Meanwhile, red, I don't know what red did. They put these crawlers here? Oh, they put crawlers here to back up their tarantula. And another tarantula. Where's that going? Khalil Signala. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. tarantula over here in anticipation of chaff, which is not coming. Just kidding. Is it coming? Nope, it's not coming. Got chaff over here. Oh, Sabertooth. The round 3 Sabertooth from blue to answer this tarantula. Well placed. I don't know why you're doing this mobile beacon. That rhino didn't go anywhere. But there it is. We've got a lot of pressure here. And blue's kind of hoping that this rhino takes this tower out. And it doesn't look like it will. So, will the Phoenix do it? Okay. Yeah, the Phoenix get through. They are connecting. Everything's falling apart. I don't think the tower made the difference, because I think blue just has enough army here to put pressure, and losing the tower a bonus. I think that Sabertooth is doing a lot of work. Alright, I'm spacing out. Oh, you know what? Okay, back to this. We see crawlers coming down from red. Ooh, tarantula range. That's going to be a lot of pressure. What is red going to do to get the advantage back here? Besides that, I don't know. We got more crawlers here to slow down the Sabertooth, but that is going to be received with a missile, and that is unfortunate for red. Sabertooth here unanswered at the moment, and red needs to find a way to put pressure on these Stormcallers, because that's kind of the linchpin of this whole offense. Meanwhile, oh, we're going to maneuver them. Is that going to work? Is that going to work? Is the Sabertooth going to be fooled? Over here we see that the Phoenix here are about to get met with Mustang. Over here we see the Tarantula. It didn't work. It did not work. Mustang making the difference. Oh, but this Arclight cleaned them up. Very good. And the crawlers in the back. Well played, Blue. Well played. But once again, the Stormcallers really are the star of the show here. Unanswered. As long as red is held in place, the Stormcallers will get damage. Words are big. Red getting heavy armor. Blue deciding on an electromagnetic impact or heavy armor. Heavy armor it is. I don't actually know where you'd put the EMP impact. Yeah, no, heavy armor makes sense. Putting armor on the Rhino because we want to make this Rhino really annoying to run through. Meanwhile, over here we see chaff going down for blue. Blue deciding to put that chaff here. Chaff versus chaff. It's a fight to the death. This tarantula is not going to make that a fair fight. This Arclight can't compete. But once the chaff war is over, the Sabertooth will take it from there. Tarantula Spider Mine. Seeing that, will that make a difference? Perhaps. Perhaps not. I don't think that this move will work because the Sabertooth has object permanence. But we'll see. We'll see. Getting levels up on stuff. We're putting down an anti-missile battery here. That will make a difference. These Sabertooth, or these Stormcallers, are load bearing. And if they don't land missiles, blue is in big trouble. Blue is in big trouble. They have no solid response to these spider mines coming their way. Oh, but wait a minute. Wait. Why didn't the crawlers eat that? Oh, because that's reds. I'm an idiot. Up here we see blue has punched through. These phoenixes are free because the mustangs are answered. And that tower goes down. And red's army is held in place. And these stormcallers, once again, have free range. It doesn't matter. It does not matter what red does. If that tower falls and these stormcallers are not dead, red is dead. It does not matter. Fortress coming down. Fortress on both sides. Fortress would be good pickup for red. I think Wasp might be as well. Maybe not. Sandworm, maybe? It's going to be Raiden. And then we're going to sell that Raiden, right? No, we're going to put it over here. We're going to put pressure on this Rhino. And turn this tower. Because if red holds this tower, there's a shot. There's a shot over here. There's a shot. It does kind of look like blue has a much bigger army over here. At this point, there's a fortress, there's a saber-tooth, there's plenty of chaff, and this is not a fast army on red's side. So, stormcallers still unanswered. Another tarantula. We're going to really, really invest in the spider mines to create chaff. And we've got marksman anti-air to counter these phoenixes and only these phoenixes. Yes. I guess we were expecting more phoenixes this round. Never hurts to be prepared. Anyway, here we go. A lot of fortresses on blue side. Those are going to be challenging for red to deal with. Fortresses, saber-tooths, arc-lights, posing a formidable wall for red as the crawlers get annihilated on red's side. Spider mines serving as chaff, but now they're dead. What is going to happen as those stormcallers fire? They're hitting tarantulas. And the right side tower goes down for blue. Excellent turnaround. Red has this in the bag. Those stormcallers are doing nothing. Sure, there's a fortress. But fortresses cannot shoot up. And that's turning it around. Barely. Now, keep in mind, blue can turn that around. That's a very, very fragile victory for red. Blue picks up the Vulcan. Red picks up the shield. We really need to defend this tower. On blue side, we really need to defend this tower on red side. Red has upgraded that tower, so that is probably shutting the door on that strategy. Got wasps here. And, what is this other thing? Vulcan. Both here. So they are going to put pressure on this tower, but the damage might be more in the shape of this army just doesn't do enough damage to this army. Especially if the shield is coming down. Let's find out. This tower gets upgraded to level 3, so it looks like all the hopes and dreams of taking out a tower on the right side to win the left side battle are fading away. And this fight will be fought on the merits of these armies. Melting point for red. That's always good. A good answer to these fortresses if it can find them. There's a lot of chaff on both sides. But the chaff eventually dies. Here we go. Will this make the difference? These towers, the doors shut. Maybe not on red side, but on blue side, that's pretty shut. So it's this melting point. Will the melting point pull it out for red? Or will blue, with their Stormcallers, blow everything to bits? Yeah, right side, this is collapsed for red. It's a lot of pressure. Now this tower needs to hold. It's got Phoenixes pounding on it, so it's not going to hold. And that's bad news. That's going to stop this advance, which it looks like it was working very well. The melting point is locked onto the last fortress. It's not the last fortress, but it's locked onto a fortress, and these Tarantulas are hitting Stormcallers. One marksman left, one melting point, 0 melting points, one Tarantula left, and that's it. That's not enough. Yeah, there's the surrender. That was a 1700 MMR game. No, 1600. Cool. Let's keep rolling. Pick this one. Ah, we see. The blue player has picked Giant Specialist with Marksman and Sledgehammers. A very solid opening. Just needs chaff to be complete. Meanwhile, Speed Specialist on the red side, which is Tarantula Marksman. So heavy Marksman. Big chaff clear. We're going to see crawlers from both sides. That is likely. We might see fangs. Crawlers or fangs. Here we go. Any second now. Probably crawlers. I would go with crawlers for Sledgehammers. For Tarantula, more open. Both sides. Who knows? There's the crawlers. For blue, we're going to put them behind towers. That is a standard play. Crawlers notoriously love to spread when they touch a tower. That's just a game they play. It is hard-coded. We've got fangs from red. That's totally fair. Not a bad pick. We are going to make a defensive posture right here. Are these... Yeah, okay, they're going to spread out a little. Wall of aggression here. Unfortunately, I think these crawlers are out of position. They're going to move too far ahead. Oh, just kidding. Just kidding. Nope. Give it a second. We'll wait for the red army to settle down. If they were back there, the crawlers would be out of position. But if the red army is playing aggro, then this looks like a solid play for blue. Here we go. Marksman not locking on the Tarantula yet. Once they find Tarantula, red's days are numbered. There's the first one. There's the first lock. Second one getting away, going to the tower. Bad times for blue. That tower goes down, and there go all the hopes and dreams of winning this round. Nope. Unfortunate. Tarantula says, I'm hungry, and you are dead. Round 2. Blue's thinking. What do I do about that Tarantula on the left side? Answer that Tarantula, and everything falls into place. We get an elite hackers. Now that is an answer. That is an answer. Red opting for the shield airdrop. We won't see hackers this round because those hackers are 400 credos, and blue does not have 400 credos. So what will we see to answer this Tarantula right here? This one. Red opting for crawlers. When you're ahead, get more chaff. Why not? And a shield. That shield is not going down. The shields early game, they don't quit. Blue opting for a Stormcaller. Now that will take down the shield, and it will answer this Tarantula. But there's only one of them. Oh, and there's crawlers over here. Okay, so we're going to snipe this tower, except these crawlers are going to say no. Another crawler here. Over here. We're going to be symmetrical. There it is. We have to be symmetrical. That, if you play this game asymmetrically, you are hurting millions of people. Psychically, of course. Stormcallers making fangs go extinct. Crawler versus crawler up here. That's a fight that's not worth paying attention to. Meanwhile, over here, nothing stopping these crawlers from doing all the damage. 5 crawlers escape on the right side. But it doesn't matter because there's no army to capitalize on this tower going down. Oh, and in fact, they don't even get to do it because this tower goes down. And boom. Okay. Come on, guys. There you go. Now, run to this tarantula where you will instantly die. One of them, afraid of death, tries to escape. Doesn't make it. Round 3. Now blue has a problem. That problem is the left side of the map. What's the answer? Haste module. That is going to go on a unit. Make it fast. That is what haste does. Extended range arc light. No one has arc lights, so I don't know why you would pick that. Efficient tech. Good for money. Putting it on a Vulcan, and then that Vulcan is going to go over here? Question mark. Or is it actually going to go here? Oh. Sledgehammer's over here to respect the crawler. Yep. Yep. What did red do? We're getting chaff over here. When you're winning, get chaff. Chaff it up. Crawlers here should turn this fight around. Respect. Okay, the Vulcan getting nice and cozy. It does have a haste module, so it's going to outpace these sledgehammers. But it's also it's a Vulcan, so you don't really care. We're going to wood chipper all of the chaff. And then we'll see if that's enough. Nothing really on this board to answer that Vulcan, but at the same time, you can't really expect a Vulcan. Not in round 3. From someone who picked Elite Hacker, no less. You expect hackers. Do these guys have double shot? They do not. So what is red going to do to answer this Vulcan next round? Because this round is going to go to blue. Let's be real. This Vulcan is a wall, and these Stormcallers like walls. They like walls. Look at that damage. That's so potent that this thing is knocking down Tarantula. Yeah. It's good. Vulcan problem. Plenty of options for red to pick, so no despair yet. Let's see what they pick. Could this be Void Eye's time to shine? Now we see Phoenix. Phoenix is a good pick. Just all-purpose good. Phantom Ray, a cheeky pick for red. I don't think Rhino or Tarantula makes sense here. Phoenix, it is. And blue. Got a couple more options. Rhino to put pressure on that right side tower. Phoenix also good. We see Phoenix, we pick Phoenix. Not as valuable for blue because it's just locking on the Tarantula. Locking on the Tarantula. We don't hate that. We being the audience. We still need to find an answer to this Vulcan. What is it going to be? Phoenix is not a sole answer. It's going to be Stormcallers. Excellent. Both sides. Stormcalling. Whoever stands still the longest loses. This is the fight. This is where the fight is. This is cute. This is where the cute is. I don't know where this Phoenix is doing over here. I guess just in case this gets leveled up to 2. Second Vulcan. Because if the first Vulcan is a win, why not the second? And we see these crawlers are here to absorb the Stormcaller missiles. And they are going to do a good job of that. Except that there is a Vulcan here. First volley away. Sentry missile taking out these saber-tooths. Sledgehammers. And that instantly died to the Stormcallers. Well done. And without a Vulcan there, these crawlers basically are going to clean everything up. Red, very happy with his outcome. How did this happen? Where did these 5 crawlers come from? If there's nothing to stop them here, then this is actually a problem, because there's no chaff clear. 5 crawlers could be the difference, but they aren't. These storm crawlers are the difference. They do good. They do good. Bump, 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 bump. Advanced targeting system for red. Thinking about it for blue. It's a very expensive pick. Nah, let's go with the laser sights. Put them on a Vulcan. Don't do that. Okay, putting it on a Vulcan. Why not? Red sensing weakness puts a tarantula over here to absorb the 5 crawlers that got through. Over here we got Mustangs with the anti-missile. That does partially answer the Stormcallers. A lot of Mustangs, so we are committed to this strategy. And what is Red gonna do? Red has already done it. I don't know what they did. Oh, they put a tarantula here, but they also did something else. Crawlers here, going that way, away from the Vulcan that has the laser sights. Yes. Oh, they put a marksman over here. Okay. Oops. See, the unit's settling down, deciding on where they want to die. Shield going up for blue. Here we go. Lock in, missiles out. Missiles hitting nothing of value. And the Vulcan starts to burninate. And it's dead. Right side. Vulcan is locked onto a tarantula instead of the chaff that is eating its ankles. That's a very, very sad way for a Vulcan to be. Vulcan killed by crawlers. Not worthy of a tombstone. Look at these Phoenix clean up. Absolutely decimating. And these crawlers are loose. No chaff clear to answer them. And the Stormcallers are crying to die to crawlers in round 5. There is no glory this round, only embarrassment. Only embarrassment for blue. But easily remedied. Another Vulcan. Just kidding. I don't actually know how you counter this other than not putting laser sights on the Vulcan. If you could somehow remove the laser sights from this Vulcan, I think that would actually fix what's going on here. But and move the Vulcan back. So we get range for the tarantula coming out, and we get... Did the marksman get range? I can't remember. Ah, the Vulcan did get sold. Are you listening to me? You can't be, because this is on a delay. We got the melting point. Now that is an interesting pick, because the melting point does typically kill crawlers and only crawlers, but that's not what you get it for. You get it to kill other giants. I don't see any giants. Here's the marksman for red. Red is going all in on marksman, and that is how they're going to find victory. Left side, red feels pretty comfortable. Right side, blue feels pretty comfortable. Only one side can win. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be the Imba, the overpowered, the melting point with 190 meter range? Or is it going to be 2 Stormcallers? Oil coming down and not doing anything because that shield is well placed. Melting point locking onto chaff as it does. Melting point getting eaten alive by crawlers. That's not good. That's not good at all. Those Stormcallers are getting toasted, though, on the red side. The enemies are getting way too close to them. They are donezo. But at the same time, the tower goes down. And the remnants of red's right side are just taking their time, mopping up. Just kidding, they're dead. It's all over. It turns out, 2 Stormcallers don't do anything when the opponent has anti-missiles. But you know what counters anti-missiles? Electromagnetic impact, which red is about to pick right now. And blue's going to pick portable shield, of course. Of course. Underground threat. Yeah, that's what I said. What did I say? Underground threat is an excellent counter to nothing. We're just putting crawlers here. That's going to really cheese off these crawlers, and there's actually no defense over here against this underground threat. Meanwhile, EMP coming from red to disable these AMs. Oh, no, just kidding. It's disabling his melting point. Because that melting point was not embarrassed enough. Not only does it die to crawlers, but we want it to die to crawlers and its range to be 40 less. Alright, both sides still have their army to pick. Blue getting range on the Phoenix. And we're getting out more anti-missile and the Phoenix. Nope. Mustang. Meanwhile, red did something. That is how you play this game, by clicking buttons. Here we go, shield up for red. That shield may make the difference. It's going to protect the Stormcallers long enough for their missiles to be shot down at least 5 times. Very valuable if you're trying to shoot as many missiles into the enemy anti-missiles as possible. Here we go. Crawlers back here getting answered by this Tarantula and by the Crawlers of red, so it did nothing. Good try though. Down here we see that this front line is collapsing for red and they are exposed. The Stormcallers not doing much. Not doing much. They are getting shut down. And that's a shame, because that is red's hopes and dreams. Without those, this Vulcan and these Phoenix and this whole clump of army, nothing to answer it. Nothing to answer it, and blue wins. Blue wins. What is red going to do? How do you bring these Stormcallers back online? Or do you give up, pick up an Abyss, or a Scorpion? A Scorpion would be better. And then try and reassert your artillery advantage. Melting point over here. That says, please don't pick Abyss. And it's coming with a barrier. Very nice. So it's protecting these Mustangs, which were going to get missiled. Red getting these Spider-Mines. Spider-Mans are a good source of chaff, but not a good source of making Stormcallers work. We're still looking for that Stormcaller answer. Or artillery. We're looking for that artillery. Didn't see an artillery pick or a Stormcaller fixer. So I think blue just gonna settle in here, gonna reinforce their lead, and yeah, at this point in the game, it's kind of impossible to tell what's going on. I'm gonna look away for half a second. I don't know what happened. A lot of stuff happened. A lot of shields on red side, and blue moved their melting points, so their Mustangs are in trouble. But they have plenty of Mustangs, so they're not actually in trouble. Here we go. Blue's Giants are a menace. First Vulcan goes down, and the first melting point goes down. And actually the only melting point. I thought that was another melting point. Another Vulcan still on the field, and those Phoenix are a problem for the Tarantulas. Middle of the army for blue is pushed all the way to the Stormcallers and making them disappear. One Phoenix shot at a time, and they're gone, and the tower is down for both sides. So it's just this Vulcan and a couple of Phoenixes on both sides. And the difference was 2 marksmen with EMP. We got to get a close-up of these guys. Give them high fives, Red, because they saved your ass. Blue picking an Overlord. It's boat time. Meanwhile, Red contemplating getting that Sabertooth. 3 more AMs. Nope, getting a Raiden. We're going to give it range, and we're also going to give it a massage. We're going to make that Raiden feel very, very loved. And we're going to give it a buddy. Second Raiden. We're going to put that somewhere. Meanwhile, Red, Blue, capitalizing on that elite hacker we got from the very beginning of the game. Putting multi-hacker on it. Putting it right there. Just to rub salt in the wound of Blue's, of Red's melting army. A second hacker. Where's it going? Is it also going on the left side? Yeah, we're going to bunch our hackers up. We're going to make the left side our side, said Blue. And unfortunately, there are shields in the way, so we're going to wait for this melting point to make the shields go away. But once they do, the hackers will play. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but hacker multi-target Vulcan is an anti-combo. Because the Vulcan will kill everything you're trying to hack. So, I don't entirely understand what's about to happen, but we're going to see whether I'm right or wrong. Here we go. Oh, I guess you can hack the, the spider mines. That is working. The Vulcan died, so now the hacker gets to step in and start... Nope, the hacker's dead. Dead to the Raiden. Alright. Meanwhile, on the right side, the army of Red is pushing forward. Those 3 marksmen are like, hey, get on my back, Red. We're going to carry you to victory. And they are doing it. They are doing it. Actually, just kidding. Red's army just completely annihilated that. Completely. I know Raidens are good. I didn't know Raidens were that good. 1600 MMR. That's a game. 2 Raidens are... They make the difference, you know? They make the difference. All right, this... Last game. It's going to be the last game. I'm going to pick this one. I guess Raidens do count as artillery. So, shouldn't be that surprised. They are the Scorpions of the Air. Right. Blue picking Typhoon Specialist, and Red... Red? You can pick Quick Supply. It's okay. No one will shame you if you pick Quick Supply. Fire Badger. All right. Red, not wanting to feel shame, picks Fire Badger. Gets themselves Tarantula, Fang, and they buffer it with some crawlers. Nicely done. Blue setting up their Steel Ball Crawler combo. What are they going to go with along with that? Mustang? No, they're going to go Arclight. Arclight is a choice. Putting protection around the towers. We're ready to receive those crawlers that Red has helpfully bought. And the Tarantulas are being put in an aggressive posture. No, that's not aggressive. That's a balanced posture. They could be a lot closer to the line. Those crawlers... Should be a balanced fight, but the steel balls are kind of unanswered. The steel balls are unanswered, but the heroes of this fight are actually the Arclights because they are doing all the damage. But the heroes are actually the steel balls because they kill the tarantula. There it is. Round 1 goes to blue. And we see this might be a good pick for Void Eyes. For red, unironically, to take care of those steel balls. And blue, Phantom Ray. Very frustrating pick. Always hate seeing my opponent pick Phantom Ray because when they pick Phantom Ray, it automatically counters all of my anti-air. Don't ask how the devs made it to do that, to me specifically, but they found a way. Red actually picking the Void Eyes, so I think this is the first time. First time anyone's picked Void Eye. Congratulations to Red. Getting that achievement. And let's see what blue buys with their money. They're buying Stormcallers. Very good answer to Tarantula. Not great answer to Mustangs, which is what Red got, but recognizing that Red's army is significantly slower, we're also going to get an Arclight to back up the Stormcallers because there is a gap of chaff clear here in the middle. Good call. Red. Let's see if these Mustangs make the difference because they're going to be putting pressure directly on the Arclights, but Arclights are pretty tough against Mustang. I think that matchup favors the Arclight. And then these Phantom Rays are going to counter the Mustang if I'm red. But if I'm blue, then these Phantom Rays are actually doomed. Nope, it looks like they're dead. Stonecaller getting connections on the Tarantula. Tarantula days numbered. Void Eye's days numbered. And that's it. Stormcaller holding the line for blue. Let's see where they go now. Red is getting their Fire Badgers, so it looks like they will be able to put pressure on a flank of their choice. What are they going to choose? Blue chooses a portable shield. Red thinking about that redeployment. Just kidding. Portable shield for both sides. A portable shield on a steel ball for blue? We really want to make that aggressive. What is Red going to put their portable shield on? Getting Phoenix for blue. What are the Phoenix for? Countering the Tarantula. Mustang are getting range for red. That's going to spend a lot of red's money. Where did that portable shield go for red? Over here. There's some Fire Badgers. We're flanking with those. Right into this missile. Alright. That happened. They're loose. Meanwhile, over here, the army is looking pretty grim for blue. Just kidding. They're looking pretty grim for red because the steel balls are connecting to the tarantulas and taking them out. And the Void Eyes are not a counter to steel balls, it turns out. No, wait, these Mustangs are actually doing the work. The range. The range. Not enough. But it did work. Barely. Alright, blue getting an amplifying core. Snapping that up instantly. Red thinking about that ion blast. No, we're gonna pick the amplifying core. Here it comes. We gotta draw this out though. We don't want to pick it too quickly. That'll make us seem eager. And then the amplifying core might be embarrassed. Any second now. It's still a chance that we go ion blast out of embarrassment. Nope, amplifying core. There it is. Putting that on a Mustang. Absolutely making these guys do all the work. Typhoon? When did that happen? Oh, you're a Typhoon specialist. That's when that happened. So that is going to hold the line there, I think. Interesting fight over here. I don't think the Typhoons are going to care very much about the Fire Badgers. Correct. Meanwhile, up here, an Arclight is fighting the entire army. And the steel balls here have no chaff in front of them, so they just die to crawlers. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Meanwhile, Stormcallers starting to panic. Crawlers are getting too close to them. Trying to lock onto these tarantula. But at this point, there's a lot more tarantula than there are Stormcallers, so that's... These guys are getting overworked, perhaps. Doesn't matter. Still winning. Still carrying the day. Red snapping up a fire control system. Blue thinking about the Rhino assault. Just kidding, they're going to snap up the fire control system. No, they're going to snap up the mobile beacon. A Rhino assault. And they're going to put that... there. They're going to put it there. Right here. Just to punish all of this from red. Blue also picking up some more arc lights because I guess this is a high MMR game. That's how you know it's a high MMR game, because round 5 and on, that's when the mass arc light comes. What is red picking up? They already picked up. Where did they put it? What did they get? Did they just get crawlers? Oh no, they got the scorpions. Yeah, the scorpions. Okay. Thinking about that, that could be a really good play. Or it could be garbage. Because I'm not sure what the scorpions are accomplishing. They do counter arc lights. But that's a very expensive counter. You know? Oh, they counter the steel balls. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's also a very expensive counter. You spent 600 to counter the opponent's 400. Now you're having a situation where all of your value is getting obliterated by these Stormcallers because of this Rhino. Is that game? No, but it will be soon. It will be soon. Alright. Blue, only arc lights at this point. That's all you need. Red, probably going to pick this fortress up and then sell it. Wraith. Alright, are we going to sell that? No, we're going to upgrade it. Blue, getting that Wraith, going all in on Wraith? Question mark? Hold on, let's see. Yeah, all in on Wraith. Getting armor and field maintenance. Punishing the fact that the only anti-air for red is the Mustang. Oh, and we're putting it up front. We are very confident that we win. Very confident. And also, we're gonna make a dick. Yeah, just right there. All right, no, just kidding. We're a little gun shy. We gotta pull it back here. We got the wasps coming from red. Those are not a good counter to wraiths. All right, put them up here. Make it. Come on. Nope, no, we're gonna have it come in at an angle. Yeah, there we go. All right. Meanwhile, red, we got the wasps in the back to stop any cheekiness, I guess. Tarantula with high explosive. Very effective against chaff, but is chaff really the problem, question mark? Or is the problem this Stormcaller? Alright, here we go. This Wraith pile instantly takes all the aggro of the Mustangs. And it's out regenerating. I mean, it's got armor and regen, so like, we don't need to. This is just a win for blue. There's no answer to that anywhere on this board. Yep, there's the surrender. Yep, this is a high level game. You can tell because they bought a lot of arc lights in round 5. And that is that. So, that's where I'm going to leave it off. I stop here for the night. There's a lot that I have learned from watching those games. And that is, build arc lights, don't build void rays. That's really it. That's all I've learned. Anti-air is good, I guess, question mark, theoretically. Well, how about that? Thank you guys for watching. Hope you're having fun out there. Play fun games. Have a good time. See you all later. Bye, y'all.